Welcome to Bidayat's Inspiration Series, where we talk to industry movers and shakers to learn more about their professional journey and get motivated by their career advice. My name is Yasmine Shihata, and I am your host and moderator. And today we are thrilled to have Doaa Gawish from the Hair Addict, which is a hair care line for natural products, correct?
Yes, correct. First of all, I'm so happy I'm here with you today. So thank you for having me, and thanks, Bidayat, for having me. Second, we'd like to perceive the Hair Addict actually as a social movement.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, because it didn't start as a hair care line. It started as a community on Facebook to encourage women to love themselves enough to invest in their hair care, natural hair care, to always look for the best, not for what will appear as an immediate gain and would make them look like instantaneously good, but not good for them over the long term. So actually, I would like to perceive the Hair Addict as a community for more than 600,000 members, and I'd like to perceive it as a social movement, encouraging everyone to love themselves enough to take care of themselves naturally, regardless of others' opinion, regardless of what people may think about it. So yeah.
Okay, that's great. But let's go a little bit back.
Yeah.
Tell us about how the journey started.
Yes.
Like for you, because you started in the corporate world.
Yes.
Like what was that moment when you felt, I need a shift in my career, and I want to be an entrepreneur?
Yeah. So you see, I was born in, I would not say which year, but I was born in 1980 something. And when I grew up and graduated from college, I graduated from AUC Mechanical Engineering. The culture back then was you have to get a corporate job. You have to get settled in a big company, and you have to make a decent amount of money so that you can prove to the society and to the community that you are worthy. You have to get hooked in something that we all perceive as stable and reliable. So actually, back at the time, I did not stop to think after graduation, what is it that I wanted to do? I knew I liked mechanical engineering, and I knew I liked cars and stuff, but I didn't think for a minute, what can I do about it? How can I pursue it in a way that would make me really love my job? I just thought that I needed to join a company that is so big to impress everyone and have like a big pay every month. So I started looking at the big companies back then, and Procter & Gamble was one of them. I applied, I got accepted, I was so happy, and I worked in a field called supply chain. It is not a very technical field, but it was very matching with my specialization back then. And I started working every day, hating what I do, but my culture was you don't need to work what you do. You can have enough money to pamper yourself after work. You can have enough money to get the stuff that you want. You're getting the status of the company. You see, everyone that works in a corporate environment, they brag about the status of the company they're working for. They don't see their individual value. They see the company's value, and they take their value from it.
Yeah.
So I was a corporate soldier actually for 13 years. And I thought
you lasted, huh?
Yeah, I lasted 13 years. I was not happy. I hated it, even though the company treated me very well because I was a female, which is very rare in the supply chain field. They encouraged diversity. I was given very nice assignments. I was promoted very fast. I was encouraged to go outside of Egypt to work and learn. But still, I hated it, and I thought this is the way to do it, and this is the way to go. Meanwhile, I was a mom of 2 kids, having a lot of social responsibilities to do every day after work, which I did not necessarily enjoy. So I enjoyed my kids very much, obviously, but not necessarily the soccer practice, the arranging the play dates, everything that comes with being a full-time worker and a full-time mom. I felt I did not do enough for myself. And I was blow drying actually my hair 2 or 3 times a week, because back then I thought, again, this was the way to go. This was the only way to take care of my hair. I grew up with frizzy hair, thinking that the one way to treat it is to blow dry it to get rid of the frizz. So back at that time, while being a mom, while being a corporate soldier, and being a person that always loved her hair, I thought, why not start this hobby where I can mix natural ingredients at home and start taking care of my hair in a natural way in order to revive it, in order to regain its health, because blow drying it is really, really harmful. Again, back then I didn't stop and think, maybe you should stop blow drying it. No, it was not an option. Like, you wake up in the morning, you iron your clothes, you wake up in the morning and you blow dry your hair. It's not an option. Like having a job that you did not really like, you blow dry your hair. So I started this hobby. I was very passionate about it. I started sharing my opinions about natural hair care remedies on Facebook groups. And actually one day I answered one lady on another group called The Style Memoir. And the lady started interacting in a very interested way. So I thought, why not start a Facebook group on my own and start sharing whatever I know about natural hair care. I was Facebook illiterate back at the time, but it was very easy to start this group. I had only a Facebook account. I didn't do anything with it. So I went on Facebook, I started the group. I started posting a little bit about what I know. And actually, because I'm an engineer originally and I know a bit about chemistry, I used to read those scientific papers. And whenever I posted something about the natural hair care remedies I used at home, it used to be in a scientific way. So actually, I think this got people a bit interested.
Yeah.
And because most of the females in Egypt, and later on I discovered this is the case for the Middle East, they blow dry their hair because of the genes, because of the hormones, because of the diet, because of the stress, because of everything around us. They tend to have severe cases of hair fall. 8 out of 10 women, they got engaged because they wanted to stop the hair fall. And their problems were always like, I used to have very nice, luscious hair when I was young. Now it's mostly gone. So because of all that, they started engaging with me on the group. And actually, I remember it grew to 5,000 members over the period of 3 to 4 months organically.
Wow, that's
without
great.
having to publicize for it at all. And then back then, in summer 2016, I was invited by my company to go do an economics course in Oxford, and I was going to spend the entire summer there. No hairdresser, okay? So I thought, I'm going to be natural for the period of summer. Why not encourage other ladies on the communities, about 5,000 to 6,000, to come and join our experiences about wanting to go natural. And I even asked my niece, because I thought she was cooler and more hip than I was, to come up with the hashtag Heat Free Challenge. So I started sharing with the ladies, why not go natural? Why not leave our hair to breathe for the period of the summer? And actually, the reaction that I got was unbelievable. They were like, no, how can I go out like that? How can I go to work? I work in a bank. They would make fun of me. I work at the airport. My dad would tell me that you put your finger in electricity. Yeah, I heard all sorts of bullying and scrutiny. Comments that I hadn't heard before in my life, all combined in one place. So actually, it was an aha moment for me. I was like, so we're not blow drying our hair for our own sake. We're actually doing it for the society. And believe it or not, I hadn't processed this fact up till this moment. I was in my 30s. So I was like, you know what? We're independent, most of us, hopefully at least. We have our own jobs. We make very important career decisions. We make very important life decisions. And we're bullied to the extent that we're afraid to go out with our natural hair. So I took it upon myself to invite everyone possible on the community, even if they weren't on it, to come and talk about their natural hair journey, natural hair experience. And back at the time in 2016, you would find natural heads very rarely. They were only in the creative sector. So I invited like fashion designers, film producers, actresses to come and talk about their natural hair care journey. And they would always show the before and after, saying that my hair went back to its health. And I believe that this got tons of people hooked, because the end in mind here for people was to regain the health of their hair. The end in mind was not self-love back then. And so they started experimenting, because they had massive hair fall, with the going natural, with like if it's looking a bit weird at the beginning because some of it is curly and some of it is straight, they would experiment with certain hairstyles, encouraging and sharing with each other. And actually, I remember over the fall of 2016, the group grew from 5,000 to 80,000 members organically.
Wow.
And actually, the amount of comments, likes, and posts we had was massive. We had about 1 million posts, comments, likes every single month. People talking, how do I look leaving my hair natural? They're gonna make fun of me now at work. Shall I go? Shall I blow dry it? And members actually started encouraging and putting so much love into it, to the extent that it was a social movement, really.
Yeah, and so members were supporting each other on the journey.
Yeah,
okay.
So it's not only the admin, it's not only me, it's not only the moderators who were helping me back at the time. It is us encouraging each other to love ourselves enough to invest in our hair since it's falling.
Yeah.
And actually, I wasn't natural before this summer. I went natural with everyone else on the community, because we simply encouraged each other. And then after that, one thing led to another. We discovered that maybe we have natural remedies at home that we can use to revive the health of our hair, and maybe you can go natural without using heat. But the everyday shampoo, the everyday conditioner is not available on shelf. And we discovered after that that if we want to color our hair, we have to use dyes, which is again very damaging. And we discovered together a lot of things. And actually, back then, with the group growing, with me hating my job in the background, I was like, why don't I make a leap of faith? Because I love this so much. And actually, I discovered an opportunity for the products that natural heads should use in the market. Why can't I make a leap of faith, quit my job, start the Hair Addict as a company, and then start producing the products that we need and the tools that we need as natural heads, while maintaining the community to help women go natural and love themselves enough. So
that's great. That's great. And you know, they always say that the best entrepreneurs are the ones who go all in with the journey, you know? And so what you did is really great. I mean, I started the same way, so I relate to you. But tell us a bit, for most people on these creative journeys, there's a mentor or a role model that sort of inspires you, whether you know them personally or somebody you admire that took that leap of faith. Was there anybody in your life that was this role model for you, or a mentor?
Actually, ever since growing up, my dad used to be a doctor, Allah yarhamu, may God bless his soul. He used to encourage me to have my own business, and he was not very loving of the corporate enslavement, he used to call it. So even when I was working for P&G, he used to tell me, it's very good what you're doing, you're achieving a lot, but I hope that you can start something that you're really passionate about and something that would be your own. So actually, I had this encouragement since day one. I had people telling me that being a corporate person may not be the thing for you. And actually, what I discovered later on, that there is no right or wrong. Being an entrepreneur is not right, and being a corporate person is not wrong. It is what suits your character best. It is what is most suitable for you.
Yeah, being an entrepreneur comes with a lot of downsides too. Yeah.
So actually, I used to make fun and say when I first quit P&G, people perceived me as the god of resignation. Whenever somebody wanted to leave the company, they would call me and they'd want to get encouragement from me. At the beginning, I used to go, of course, you have to leave your job if you don't like it. It's very nice out there. But now, actually, I say it may not be for everyone.
Yeah.
There are pros and cons for every job and every situation and every context. But to answer your question, I had this encouragement from my dad. He always made me think that if you take the risk, it's okay. It's okay to fail. Mm-hmm. And actually, this is a very good culture, because it's the journey at the end of the day. So some people might be afraid of being entrepreneurs because what if I fail? So what? If you know your self-worth, you know that if you fail doing this, it's okay. You can move on to something else and you can succeed doing it. And even if you fail again, fail a third time, fail a fourth time, you can get up and try again. There is nothing that says that you're a bad person or that you're not trying hard enough if you fail. It's part of the process. And actually, this is a very good advice that I give others, is that failure is part of the process. Achievements do not last. Failures do not last. It's up and down, up and down. So if somebody wants to go out there and start their own business, they have to know that it's a process. Nothing lasts. If you are doing something great today, it may not be so great tomorrow because you have to keep up with competition. There are market dynamics, there are changes. If you fail today, you may succeed tomorrow. And that actually leads me to another advice I always give people. Choose something that you're really passionate about.
Yes.
Because to you, it's not going to be the end in mind. It's not going to be, I want to start the Hair Addict and be the biggest hair care company in the Middle East. To you, it's going to be, I want to deliver self-confidence to women. I want to encourage them to embrace their natural hair. And that's why actually when people talk to me about the Hair Addict, you will find me mostly talking about the movement and self-love and the confidence. It's not about being the biggest hair care company in the Middle East and globally. It's not about that. It's about the process. It's about delivering the value to the people. It's about doing something that you're passionate about. The most interesting part of my job is the formulations and coming up with a new product and telling people you don't have to tolerate this and that anymore while taking care of your hair. It's lovely. I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another advice I always give people.
That's really interesting. And I know you touched on this already, but do you have a mission or a vision for the company?
Yeah.
Like, what's your end goal?
Yes, we want actually, I said it actually multiple times because it's what we live by. We want women of the Middle East to love themselves enough to take care of themselves in a natural, sustainable way. We don't want them to go to the easy solutions just because they have pressure from the community or society or because they don't love themselves enough. No, they should be happy with themselves. They should love themselves to put the energy, to put the time, to put the effort in order to discover what's sustainable for their hair and to take not the easiest, shortest solution, to take the hard, sustainable, the more successful solution over the long term. And we provide the tips because of our community. We provide the tools. We introduce very innovative tools that weren't there in the market. We provide the products. We convert women from damaged hair that they are not happy about to very healthy hair that they look at and see as beautiful. We accompany them throughout the journey.
Yeah, and how do you differentiate yourself in the market from other, like, organic products?
Yes.
Or, how do you define natural? That's always been my question with beauty, in the beauty industry. Like, what exactly is that? How natural is it?
Okay, so actually our products or what we advocate, because actually people come on our community and they ask us about other products and we answer them. It's about natural products that are 100% natural, and it's about products with good chemicals. How do you define good chemicals? They are not the ones that accumulate on your hair and cannot go away except with a very hard detergent, a very harsh shampoo. So we call them good chemicals that are in fact water soluble, that you can just wash them away with water. If they are natural or water soluble, we use them. And actually we encourage women to use the products, not only ours, that have those characteristics. And we teach them how to read those ingredients in their scientific names on the label. So and this is actually leads us to the next point. How do we differentiate ourselves? We are the center of expertise. We care about women enough to teach them things that they would apply with our products and with other products. This is number one. Number two, innovation. We always bring something new to the table. We are the community or the company that brought the idea of going natural. We are the ones that brought the idea to the region of using low chemical products or water soluble products. Our tools that we introduced are new. You cannot see similar ones in the market. Our product formulations are not seen anywhere in the market. So it's about care, it's about trust, it's about center of education, and most importantly, about innovation.
Right. And looking back at your journey now from going from the corporate world to the entrepreneurial world, what have been the key learnings that you've taken away on the journey?
I have a lot of learnings. They sound cliche, but I swear I believe in them.
Yeah.
So I believe that failure is an everyday thing. And actually, I always say I failed doing this, I failed doing that to get people around me and my kids accustomed to the concept, because failing means you're trying, you're doing something new, you're going out of your comfort zone. I believe that the biggest enemy to success is comfort. It's the biggest enemy. If you're comfortable, you're not trying new things, you're not expanding your boundaries. I also believe that if it's worth doing, it's worth doing well. I always tell my team, if you put your name on this, it has to be done in a way that represents you. I also believe if it was easy, anybody would have done it.
Yes.
So when I talk to someone and then I try to convince them of a new business idea, a new project, something that is really difficult, and they go, but this requires this and that. And then I go like, if it's easy, anybody would have done it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So those are the things I believe in. I believe that success is not permanent. Failing is not permanent. Nothing is permanent.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you have to actually believe in what you do and enjoy the process. And actually, I believe that this is one of my biggest achievements, is that I managed to find myself a job where I enjoy the process, where I don't wish for the day to end, for the month to end, for the quarter to end, for the fiscal year to end. I enjoy the process.
Yeah.
Even if it amounts to nothing, I enjoy the process. I think it's a big achievement on my side. This is the biggest thing actually I managed to do for myself. And I also believe that rida, self-satisfaction, is super important.
It's huge. Yeah.
Super important, because no matter the milestones you reach, no matter how far you go, if you're not satisfied, nothing will be enough. So,
well, I think also if you love what you do, it's a part of your success.
of course. Yeah. So I believe in all of those things. They sound cliche, but
No, these are great.
it's what I believe in.
These are great. But you also started your business at a time where Egypt has gone through a lot of changes and the world has gone through a lot of changes. Tell us about the challenges you faced, in starting a business at this time.
Yeah, actually, we're self-funded, by the way. We're bootstrapping till now.
Great. Nothing wrong with the bootstrapping. It's all good.
Yeah, we're bootstrapping, so it makes it even harder. Again, I go back to what I said. If it was easy, anybody would have done it.
Yeah.
I believe it's very difficult to be in the ecosystem now in Egypt because of all of what's happening, the currency, the hard currency availability.
Yeah.
We import some of our raw material, actually all of our raw material. We import our finished product, some of our finished products. So it's very difficult to be in the ecosystem right now in Egypt. Again, especially that we're bootstrapping, because when you have funds, you can eat away from them till the difficulty is over.
Yeah.
But again, I repeat for the third time, if it was easy, anybody would have done it. And if there is any quality that I would like people to know that I have, or to know about myself that I have, it's resilience.
Yes.
It's resilience, because if it gets difficult and we quit, then خلاص يعني, there is nothing there. So I guess we have to have very thick skin, have to be resilient enough. We have to try alternative ways to everything. And I think after several number of years, if we persevere enough, the gains would be huge in Egypt. So I think if we survive as private business owners in the next 5 to 7 years, I think the gains would be huge.
Well, I mean, the great starting point you have is that I think, 95% of people's hair here is curly. So you're in a good market.
And actually, a lot of people come and tell me, why are you about curly hair only? I go like, but that's the thing. 95% of Middle Eastern women, when they take care of their hair in a natural way, they discovered it's textured. You know that? People come on the community and they say, I want something natural to help me take care of my hair because I want to regain its health. And then they discover it's textured. Yeah. Many people don't know, because the culture that we have been brought up with, you get out of the shower, you comb your hair, you get up in the morning, you comb your hair, and you put whatever is needed, wax, oil, whatever, in order to calm the frizz. And so you never know that it's textured. You see how my hair is curly? Mm-hmm. You know that if I brush it after the shower or put it in a bun, it would be wavy, not curly?
Interesting.
Yeah, so the way you take care of your hair, it affects it a lot, it impacts it a lot. So yeah, 98% of women, 95 to 98% of women in the Middle East have textured hair. And again, to your question, how we're surviving the current hardship in Egypt, we're trying to expand in other markets. We just opened our company in UAE, and we're trying to serve the Gulf markets, to GCC from there. So it's a very big step for us.
That's great.
Yeah, we're hoping it would benefit us a lot in the coming period, especially with the currency devaluation and all.
No, hopefully that will be a great step.
Yes.
But for those people watching that want to sort of break into the industry, what advice would you give them? You know, what challenges do you think they're going to face at the beginning? Is it more taking that leap of faith, or is it more about the supply or the raw materials in the market? Like, give us a little bit of insight on that.
Okay, so if somebody wants to like make an entry into the cosmetic industry, I would say, first of all, it's an honest advice. It's not easy, because there are lots of regulations. The Ministry of Health registration, that is now the EDA, the import of raw materials, especially all the good chemicals I was talking about, are imported from outside of Egypt. But again, I would ask them to be resilient, to have a lot of passion about the process, and to want to introduce something new to people that would get them hooked on their products. So resilience and innovation are the two keywords I would ask people to have. And they will all be stemming, the resilience and the innovation, from passion. If you're not passionate, you would not be resilient, and you would not go and look for innovative product solutions and things that are not already there on the market.
Great. So it's resilience, innovation, and passion.
Driven by passion. Both are driven by passion.
Yes. Everything's driven by passion.
Well, like some people spend their careers doing stuff they don't like.
Yeah.
Which is wrong, by the way. We're not going to
encourage that here.
Yeah. And you know what? Although a lot of people are competing with me, with all the hardship that is going on in the market, and the consumer being very aware of what's a good product and what's not, when I see a competitor doing a good job, I go like, well, if they could do it, congratulations to them. They deserve the success, because, again, it's not an easy job. If they can do it, good for them. So
and competition is healthy, keeps you on your toes.
Of course. Remember the cliche I said? Comfort is the enemy of success. So actually, the more competition we have, the more excited we are about new things, and the more excited we are to start things that we wouldn't have started if we had no competition. So
great. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Incredible conversation.
It's been very enjoyable, and thank you.
Thank you. And to learn more about other movers and shakers in the creative industry, go to Bidayat's YouTube channel or www.bidayat.com.